Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing GMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the next 30 days, next month, with Japanese and CFS beauty miles. I should get on that view very shortly. Just say, but the first video is saying was our 7 AM forecast. We've also got a 10 to 14 day coming up for you in around an hour or so's time. And if that wasn't all enough, we've got Terry Scoley's October forecast being released at 7 PM this evening. We'll be live streaming after 10 o'clock. It's a busy old day. GavsWeatherVids, it's one of those epic, crazy days that we have at the channel sometimes. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe on all of the content. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, we're going to start off with the JMA week 1 500 millibar height only from the Arctic and North Pole view down. So, of course, this is the North Pole just here, the wider Arctic Circle around there. They've got mid-latitudes around here. So, yellow, orange, and red extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure, blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. These are breaking down to week periods. So, the first week period will take us from the 1st today through to the 8th of October. The coming week looks unsettled with low pressure in off the Atlantic. Nothing much more to say about that other than it does look very Atlantic driven and really unsettled with spells of rain and quite a bit cooler than we've had recently as well as the jet stream pushes away to our south. All change as we get through to week 2, which will be the 8th to the 15th of October. Above average heights then building up from the south and from the southwest. Below average heights getting pushed out to the northwest. Jet stream doing something a little bit like that, turning drier as we go through the second week of October, and probably warmer as well as the air will be coming up from the southwest. And then go through to weeks 3 and 4, which will be the 15th through the 29th of October. So above average heights still to our south and southwest, and also to our southeast. High pressure therefore to south, low pressure to the north and to the northwest. So probably just a classic sort of north-south split really. Northern areas getting the wettest and most unsettled weather, southern areas tending always to be drier, close to that area of high pressure. There might be a transition that's going on here. It's a 2-week period, so there might be a transition that's going on from, let's say, relatively high pressure dominated weather in week 3 to much more low pressure dominated weather in week 4. Something like that could be at play, as it is like a 2-weekly anomaly. Let's confirm that for tropical and mid-latitude view. So on this view of the British Isles and Islands, in the top right-hand corner of the chart, as you're looking at it, a reminder of the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly, which does look very unsettled. Low pressure in off the Atlantic into the UK and Ireland. Temperature anomalies are cooler than they have been this week. Sort of still a little bit above average, really close to or slightly above average, but a relatively cool week coming up, and also unsettled, relatively cooler week coming up, and also very unsettled with above average rainfall. That's the main talking point. There will be quite a lot of wet weather to come, perhaps a little bit more so in the south actually than in the north. Go through to week 2, which is going to be the 8th to 15th of October. Higher pressure then building up from the southwest. Low pressure is away to our north and northwest. Temperature anomalies lift up. It goes significantly warmer than average again in this week. We go into the yellow and orange colours, 1-2 degrees above average. And also still looking quite unsettled, wetter than average, and particularly so to our north and west. I think some areas probably would dry out a little bit, but certainly still looks quite unsettled, especially to the north and to the northwest as well. And then through to weeks 3 and 4, which will be the 15th to 29th of October, we've got lower pressure to our north-northwest, high pressure to our south-southwest, and winds in from a westerly direction. Temperature anomalies are still above average, not quite as much as in week 2, but nevertheless still in those yellow colours, so it is a warmer than average week coming up. And the precipitation anomaly is also above average. So quite a wet October to come, if this is right, but also relatively warm. Right, let's see how CFSV2 compares. So it's a 500 millibar heights breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes us from the 1st through to the 7th of October. Perfect agreement between the two models for week 1. With low pressure right over top of the country, it is going to be an unsettled week. Agreement 2 for week 2, which is the 8th through to 14th of October. Lower pressure getting pushed out to our northwest. Higher pressure building to our south and to our southwest. Jet stream getting pushed away to the north. So it's turning drier, and it's also turning a lot milder there, or warmer perhaps as well. Week 3 is going to be the 15th through to 21st of October. High pressure well and truly in the ascendancy, sitting to our east. Low pressure is away to the northwest. That's turning drier and probably quite warm as well. We'll be bringing up wind from a southerly direction. Warm, dry there for the middle part of October. And then we get through to week 4, which will be the 22nd, 28th of October. High pressure is centred over Scandinavia. This will be bringing around more of an easterly wind if that comes off. Still very dry. This could be, if this is right, this could be quite a dry October. So we've got JMA going for quite a wet October. We've got CFS going for quite a dry October after an unsettled start. So there's a big difference there. And that could be turning colder as well. Of course, getting towards the last stages of October, if we are bringing in winds from the east, then we can expect those winds to be coming in, you know, from like the continent and from Northern Europe, and it will be getting colder if that comes off. The model will say above average, but you know, reading between the lines, high pressure over Scandinavia at the end of October, it's not going to be particularly warm if that comes off. Right, week 1 temperature on CFS, 1st through 7th of October is below average, equivalent to an average week coming up, all change what we had in September. Therefore, week 2 is the 8th to 14th of October, goes milder, a milder week there, transitioning from cool to mild. Week 3 will be the 15th, 21st of October. That one also looking rather above average, many parts of the country. And week 4 continues that, so again, above average temperatures there, 22nd, 28th of October. However, if we are bringing in winds from the east, I reckon they do have cold potential coming in off the off an increasingly cooling continent. We're going to go through to precipitation. So week 1 is the 1st to 7th of October. That's wetter than average, of course, dominated by low pressure. Week 2 will be the 8th to 14th of October. A bit wetter than average way to our northwest, a little bit drier than average to our south. It's a bit of a transitional week, really, in towards higher pressure. Now, week 3 is interesting. It's the 15th, 21st of October. It's actually a little bit wetter than average just out to our west, but just to our east, it's a bit drier than average. So it implies we're in a bit of a no man's land there between higher pressure and lower pressure. By the time we get through to week 4, just the 22nd, 28th of October, we've gone drier than average. So as we get into the second half of October, high pressure takes over and increasingly probably moves to Scandinavia. Right, so quite an interesting update from the JMA today. They're both in agreement for week 1, so that's something. So they're both in agreement that, like, first week of October is going to be cooler and wetter than anything we've had through September. We get through to week 2. They're both in agreement that higher pressure will start to build up from the south and from the southwest, beginning to turn drier and milder there as we get into the second week of October. And then there's the divergence between the two models. We've got the JMA, which still looks quite unsettled but relatively warm through the second half of October. And we've got the CFS, which is implying much more in the way of higher pressure taking over, perhaps in the end, over Scandinavia. And therefore, although the model still goes for above average temperatures for the second half of October, would have colder potential if the wind gets into the east. So that's it, just a snapshot of what the models, so a mix sort of October really between these two models. It's just a snapshot of what these models are showing. They could look completely different next week when we look at them again, but that's what they're showing today. Right, so that's JMA Friday done, and of course tomorrow we'll have a look at the ECM WF 42-day / 6 week forecast. So that will be up tomorrow morning. You'll see how the ECM sort of compares to these two for the next 30 to 42 days. Right, that's JMA Friday done. We're going to be back later on with your 10 to 14 day Terry Scoley's October forecast coming up for you tonight. So we'll see what Terry has to say about all this, and then we'll be live streaming after 10 o'clock. I'll see you very shortly for our 10 to 14 day. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.